Okay, let's talk about teaching. When you think back to your own school days, you probably picture a teacher at the front of a room, maybe with a chalkboard, right? But today, wow, the classroom can be literally anywhere. And that means the journey to becoming a teacher has totally transformed. So let's dive into what that looks like now.
So let me ask you something. When I say the word teacher, what pops into your head? Is it that traditional classroom scene? Or is it maybe someone connecting with students on the other side of the world just from their laptop? Because, that definition of a teacher has gotten so much bigger in some really amazing ways.
And honestly, this isn't just a tiny little change, it's a huge shift. I mean, digital platforms have completely changed the game for education. So it only makes sense that the path to becoming a teacher has been reinvented too. The cool thing is, now there are these super flexible and accessible ways to get the skills you need pretty much no matter where you are in the world.
All right, so what does this new pathway to teaching actually look like in practice? Let's break it down and compare it to that traditional route that most of us are familiar with.
Yeah, this really puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? On the one hand, you've got the old school way, rigid schedules, you have to be in a specific physical classroom, and sometimes the material is a bit slow to catch up. But then you look at the online approach, and it's a whole different story. You can study from anywhere on your own time. The skills you're learning are relevant all over the world, and the training is specifically designed for how we teach now, whether that's online or in person.
Okay, so let's say you're interested in this modern path. What are you actually going to learn? Well, think of it like getting your own teaching toolkit. We're about to look at the essential skills and knowledge you'll master to become a really confident and effective teacher.
And that's a really important question, right? Because we're not just talking about some casual workshop. No way. These are serious, structured programs. They're designed from the ground up to get you ready for real teaching roles, no matter if that's in a school, at a tutoring center, or on a big online platform. So, at the very heart of any good teacher training is this word, pedagogy. I know, it sounds kind of academic, but it's actually pretty simple. It's all about the how of teaching. Think of it this way. Instead of just dumping facts on a student, pedagogy is about figuring out the best way to help them discover those facts for themselves. It's basically the art and science of how people learn.
And once you get that core idea of pedagogy, you start applying it to all these super practical skills. Things like planning a lesson so it actually makes sense and flows well, or managing a classroom. And that goes for virtual ones too. You learn real techniques to keep students from zoning out and getting them engaged. It's really about building out that whole toolkit, from how you talk to students to how you check their understanding. And I love this quote because it really hits the nail on the head. The focus is all on developing skills, not just memorizing stuff from a book. I mean, anyone can memorize facts. But this is about equipping you with abilities you can actually use in a real teaching situation. And that is what builds genuine confidence. The kind of confidence that lets you step into any classroom, online or not, and feel like, yeah, I've got this.
All right, so we know what you'll learn. The next logical question is, how do you get there? So let's walk through the actual process, step by step, and see how it all comes together on the journey to getting certified. The path to getting certified is probably a lot more straightforward than you imagine. First things first, you've got to choose a trusted institute. That's super important because you want your certification to mean something. Then you just enroll online and start building those foundations. But here's where it gets really good. You start applying everything you're learning, actually practicing. And then, before you know it, you finish the course, get that certification, and you're ready to start teaching. See, each step just naturally leads to the next. Okay, and this brings us to the big finale, right? The whole point of all this, the destination. After you do the work, what does the certification actually do for your career? What doors does it open? Well, here's the bottom line. That certification, it's your seal of approval. It's the official proof to the world that you have the skills, you've done the training, and you're ready to go. It's what gives schools, institutes, online platforms, all of them, the confidence to say, yep, we want to hire you. And just look at the options. I mean, it's not just about teaching in a conventional school anymore, though you can totally do that, but you could also be an online teacher, reaching students all over the globe. Or maybe a professional tutor. You could even become a corporate trainer. The old idea that a teacher's job is only inside a school building, that's definitely a thing of the past. And when you look at it this way, you can totally see why so many people are choosing this route, especially if they're switching careers. I mean, the flexibility is a huge deal. You can balance it with your job, with your life. It's structured but also low pressure, which is perfect for beginners. You just learn at your own pace, and the whole thing is designed to build your confidence as you go. For anyone new to this world, that is a massive plus.
So we've looked at the new landscape, the toolkit you'll get, and where it can all lead. Now we get to the most important part, and it's a question just for you. Is this the path for you? Let's think about what comes next.
When you put it all together, what do you get? You get a clear, modern pathway into a career that genuinely makes an impact. It's a system that gives you the roadmap, the practical skills, and maybe most importantly, the confidence to not just start teaching, but to be really, really good at it.
So here we are. The tools, the training, the pathways, they're all out there, and they're more accessible than they have ever been. Really, your teaching journey can start right now. The only question left is, where are you going to take it?